Okay, let's dive right in. We are talking about what is, for so many people, the scariest part of the entire IELTS exam, writing task 2. I know, but trust me, by the end of this, you're gonna see it's not about being a creative genius. It's about having a system.
You know that feeling, right? The clock starts, you flip the page, read the question, and nothing. Your mind just goes completely blank. That little wave of panic that washes over you when you're just staring at an empty screen. Believe me, it's totally normal, but we're gonna get past it.
I mean, it's a lot to handle all at once, isn't it? The clock is ticking down, the questions look like they were designed to confuse you, and you're supposed to just, what? Magically produce a perfectly structured essay? It's easy to feel overwhelmed.
And it all comes down to this number, 40. Just 40 minutes. That is all you get. In that time, you have to read and understand the question, brainstorm ideas, make a plan, write hundreds of words, and somehow check for mistakes. Yeah, no wonder it feels impossible. But here's the secret, the thing that changes everything. The solution isn't to write faster. It's to think smarter. And that means the very first step, before a single word of your essay gets written, is to decode the question. You've got to figure out what kind of puzzle you're really solving. Okay, so here's a term you absolutely need to know, task response. Sounds kind of technical, right? But all it really means is, did you answer the exact question they asked you? You can have perfect grammar, amazing vocabulary, but if you don't answer the specific question, your score is going to take a huge hit. This is the foundation of a good score. I want you to think of every single Task 2 question as a locked door. At first glance, it looks intimidating, impossible to get through. But here's the good news. The examiners don't have a million different locks. They only have 4. And if you learn to recognize those 4 locks, you'll always have the right key. So you ready? Let's get into what these 4 keys are. We're going to call them the 4 question codes. Once you know how to spot these, that feeling of being lost and staring at a blank page, it's gone. For good. First up, code number 1, the opinion essay. You'll spot this one a mile away. It'll ask things like, do you agree or disagree? Or what is your opinion? Your mission here is simple, but absolutely critical. Pick a side and defend it. There's no sitting on the fence. You need to have a clear, consistent point of view from start to finish. All right, next we have code 2, the discussion essay. For this one, you need to wear 2 hats. First, you're like a neutral debate moderator. Your job is to explore both sides of an issue fairly. Give each one its moment. Then, and only then, you can step in at the end and say, and here's what I think. Then there's code 3, the problem-solution essay. This one's about as direct as it gets. They'll hand you a problem, something like urban pollution, and your task is crystal clear. In one part of your essay, you identify the main causes, and in the next, you propose some realistic, logical solutions. It's that simple. And finally, code 4, the 2-part question. Honestly, this one can feel like a gift because it's so straightforward. The prompt literally just asks you 2 different things. Your job? It's a simple 1-2 punch. Answer the first question in your first body paragraph and answer the second question in your second one. Done. Okay, so you've found the question type. You have the right key in your hand. Amazing. But how do you actually unlock the door without fumbling around under all that time pressure? Well, you use your master key, a rock-solid 5-minute plan. And look, this isn't some crazy, complicated process. It's simple. You give yourself just 1 minute, 60 seconds, to identify the question code. Then 2 minutes to quickly brainstorm a couple of main ideas, another minute to decide which idea goes in which paragraph, and a final, vital minute to write out your thesis statement. That's it. Your entire essay roadmap, built in 5 minutes. Now, I know what you're thinking. 5 minutes? I can't afford to waste 5 minutes. But you've got to reframe that. It's not wasted time. It is an investment. Those 5 minutes will save you from getting lost, confused, or stuck halfway through your essay. It pays off. Big time. So, with your question decoded and your 5-minute plan in hand, the whole process changes. You stop being a frantic writer trying to create something from nothing. Instead, you become a calm builder, just assembling the pieces according to your blueprint. So let's look at the frame of that structure, the intro and conclusion. I want you to think of your introduction and conclusion as a set of bookends. They hold everything in the middle together. Your introduction sets the stage and tells the reader exactly what you're going to argue. That's your thesis. And your conclusion? It's just a mirror image. It says, remember that thing I said I'd argue? Well, I did, and here's a quick reminder of how.
Now, please be careful to avoid these super common traps. Don't start with some big, vague statement like technology is important in the modern world. Yawn. Get straight to the point. Make your thesis statement impossible to miss. Keep your intros short and sweet. 2 or 3 sentences is perfect. And the biggest rule of all, never, ever, ever introduce a new idea in the conclusion. Its job is just to wrap things up, not start a new conversation.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, right? We've talked about decoding questions, the 4 codes, the 5-minute plan, and how to structure everything. So, what's the one big idea you absolutely have to remember from all of this?
It is this. This is the whole thing in a nutshell. Success in Writing Task 2 is not about writing the most beautiful, poetic, amazing essay ever written. It is a test of your ability to follow instructions, to understand a specific task, and to respond logically with a clear structure. It's a game of strategy. So once you see it this way, once you see the patterns, understand the codes, and know you have a plan, the whole task just becomes so much more manageable. The pressure starts to fade, and you can actually focus on showing the examiner what you know. The code is cracked. Now you just have to use the key.